you doing? This is Jerry. I'm with Cinema 5D, and I'm here with Jason Wawro. He's a cinematographer that uses HDSLRs a lot of the time. You just finished a movie called D&Me, and you guys shot with the Canon 5D Mark II. What made you decide to use that camera?
It was the small platform, and it was the ability to have multiple cameras at a really low cost. The show's like a comedy, so I knew it was going to be a lot of improv, and I knew I couldn't do a lot of takes, so I was going to need a lot of coverage, and it was just perfect for what we were doing, as well as we had a whole night scene, and you know, everybody knows 5D and low light's the way to go. And
was the budget part of the reason why you used that camera?
Oh, the budget was totally part of the reason. I think we probably spent $5 grand total, and $3 of that was for post. So everything else was just, you know, food and gas, and I don't know what else we even spend money on. I can't even remember. We didn't really have that much good food. Oh, we had some we incurred some medical costs due to a faulty stunt that cost us a little bit of money.
So you guys had a little safety issue on set, or?
Well, you know, there was a fight scene, and it was late, and we were all tired, and I think one just got away. But it's in the movie, so, you know, you'll see it, and you'll hear it. The real reason that I wanted to go with the 5D was because of the multiple camera aspect. You know, I did a lot of work with the Russo brothers, and they really taught me a lot about what is important in shooting multiple camera in terms of improv and getting, you know, usable cut points. I just knew I had to have multiple cameras, and I really couldn't afford to get like a film camera or even like EX cameras, so I had to go with something that could really work for this project. And I think the 5Ds did a good job, did a great job, did an awesome job. One of those, did one of them.
And what kind of lenses did you use on the show?
Well, on this project I use Zeiss lenses, and I pretty much stick with Zeiss lenses all the time. I own a set of ZEs, and they're just awesome. Like that 100 macro, the way that thing flares, it's so nice. There's a couple shots of the car driving by that flare just so beautifully. And the color temperature is really, really great.
And what other kind of support did you use? So you basically used the Canon 5D Mark II, Zeiss primes, and lighting, other kind of support?
You know, the lighting was really like dependent on the location. We had an office scene where I used a Diva light, and then when we were outside, we did some driving stuff where I just had a little bit of an LED light panel, and then there's another little fight scene where I just brought in a 1x1 and just floated battery operated. I mean, it was perfect. Like, you really, when you just have those small tools and you're really using like the lights and the location, you're golden. I mean, we're talking about really dark-skinned people at a night scene being lit by a street light, and then just filling in with a little LED, and you know.
And you spent a little bit of money and some time, I know, in post-processing. How did you go about cutting the film?
Oh, geez, you know, I reached out to a lot of people that I work with, and I was like, hey, I got this project, anybody want to help out? And, you know, went through probably 15 people before I got Chris Pavlik I suckered Chris Pavlik in to come and work on it, and he did a great job. You know, but we made a huge mistake with our pre-production, not doing sound, not really considering the importance of sound. We just couldn't find anybody for what we were offering, which was nothing. So we ended up doing it ourselves, and it really hurt us. We spent more money in post fixing the sound problems that we made than we would have if we just hired somebody.
So sound was one of your biggest hurdles on this film?
Oh, absolutely. It was the #1 biggest hurdle, because we were doing a lot of improv, and you know, we had lav mics and they're rubbing, and you know, you can't hear the jokes, and the levels are changing all the time, and we didn't have separated tracks, and it was just
kind of like our intercom system here at Burns and Sawyer. So you just wrapped up a shoot where you mixed cameras. You used a Sony EX1, a flip cam, and a Canon 5D Mark II. How was that, using the multiple cameras and the multiple formats?
That was an industrial project, kind of a corporate thing, and they really didn't have the time to do a separate sound, so what I did was I ran a boom and did 2 cameras, again, multiple cameras, 2 cameras side by side. I got my 5D working to do some nice tight stuff, a lot of racks and B-roll, and then I used my EX to capture all the sound and give me a wide shot. And we also had some flip cams that we sent to people that we couldn't go and see, and we also did some behind the scenes flip cam. It worked pretty good, you know? I mean, I can tell the difference. But for what it was, for the corporate world, I mean, they were totally happy, so I can't complain.
And do you have any projects coming up you want to talk about or tell us about?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and do another D&E for sure. I want to get another one of those done. And what do I got going on? I got got something with George Takei this week, and then a McDonald's commercial. And that's going to be that George Takei thing. That'll be like a 70 and an EX, and the commercials. We're shooting out a film.
So you mix the HDSLRs and other cameras quite often. How do you find them incorporating with other cameras and just fitting into the A, B, and C camera world?
You know, it's tricky. It's tricky because they really do have a specific look, and you've got to play to each camera's strengths. Like that EX camera system is great, and I love it, and I own it, but it just doesn't give you the same thing as like a 5 and a 7D. So I try and do a lot of the B-roll and the beauty stuff with the Canons, because it's just really awesome at that. And the cinema verite stuff and the stuff where it's just talking heads I try and do with the Sonys, just because of the sound, because I can run really nice audio into it.